All righty. Ray.
But not big, Johnny.
Here we go. Let me get it in. Welcome
There we
in,
go.
everybody. Fly for Fun Show, July 30th, 2025. This is show 224. Yeah, I want to say, I guess I'm cheap. Don't have the StreamYard paid version anymore, so you kind of got to go around the mountain to play the intro. But hey, it is what it is, and want to welcome in everybody tonight. We got a great group of guests tonight. Ray and some guys that's been doing drone shows for a long time, and of course, listen, guys, there's a numerous shows out there, and too many to mention. I think there's Ray. I think I was just saying was in the back. There's probably 40 or 45 drone shows on that list that I put together, the drone show guide. So, but I think everybody here tonight's been doing this probably a pretty good while. I know. I think actually maybe I think Bill Thomas has been doing it the longest.
He's been doing it the longest, yeah.
Yeah, and we'll catch up with all the stories, and I just wanted to get everybody together and kind of see the direction the drone shows are going, and where it was.
Get some feedback from the viewers too.
Today. I do want to say, got a great sticker pack. We'll give away. And got a tumbler from the South Florida Drone Meetup, and it's got my logo there on the back, but we'll give this away tonight. # drone shows. So get that in. And I do want to say, let's see, we had some birthdays this week. Barry Mullen had a birthday. Audrey Dempsey, I think Audrey's birthday is maybe today. Dennis Lovelady and Michael Wright. So we want to wish them guys happy birthday. Captain Joe, get well. Joe is doing a lot better. He's doing a few jobs. And he's getting out a little bit, so still got to take care of his
Lex's husband, Jeff, he's still in the hospital, believe it or not. He's been in there over 2.5 months now.
Yeah. Prayers to Jeff. I know that's been a pretty good battle there with Alexa's been, fooling with that for a while. And hey, welcome in. No, Ray, we got a ton of people in here. Let's go over that real quick, then we'll get our guest in here because I know Bill's got a show to do right after us. So
Yeah, I know. But Warren, he was number one. How you doing, Warren? Good to see you. And I think was it Dusty who was right behind him? I lost track of
Dusty was in
here.
Is
flying
here,
by, and John Flynn's in the house. How you doing, John? And Scotty, Jackrabbit.
Scotty,
always good to see you. And Steve Janess is watching. How you doing? And I'm going up to Brad, and Captain Joe's watching. How you doing, Captain Joe? And I know I saw Scotty. Did I say Scotty already?
Scott's in here, yeah. Scotty.
Tanya Gale is watching. How you doing?
Tanya went flying today. Yeah, we'll hear a little bit about that maybe in a few minutes.
And let's see, go up the list here. I know I saw Angie. She's in the house. How you doing? Good to see you. And Lon's in the house. How you doing, Lon?
Brian, Waypoint, New England.
Yeah, Brian. Yeah, I said hello to him too. And Terry Dugas, welcome. Good to see you. Skyfly, Joel, how you doing? And Lee, Yellow Rose Drones.
Lee, yeah, I hadn't saw Lee in a while. Good
Andrew, Hike and Flies, watching up in Vermont. How you doing, Andrew? Man, I'm telling you, it's great. We appreciate it, guys. Every one of you. We appreciate you watching us. Let's see. If I miss anybody, I don't do it on purpose.
Yeah, we'll go through. And
Jody's in the house, long time supporter.
As we see you pop in, we'll tell you John Olson. Well, Ray, let's introduce. Why don't you introduce everybody, and we'll bring them in. We're gonna bring them all in together.
This is quite the crowd. A lot of drone celebrities here, right here. And we got Marcus Crawford. He's going to join us from Idaho. I'm sorry. And then we got Bill Thomas. He's coming from Washington State. How you doing, Bill? And let's see. Who else is in the back room, Johnny?
Bill. Mr. Bill, the drone reviewer right there.
There's Bill. How you doing, Bill?
Bill, welcome in.
Hey, guys.
He's coming to us all the way from the Tampa area. Good to see you, Bill.
Good to see you, Bill. Thanks for
see you guys.
joining.
You know,
tonight.
Johnny, we learned so much from these guys. These guys inspired us to do our show. That's for sure.
I will say, you know, through the years, I guess around, I think my drone, 2018 is when I first got my drone. And I think I don't know, came across, I think it was probably Bill Thomas's show, and then Bill, the drone reviewer. And of course, it used to be Xeno Nation. And of course, that's been a while now. And you know, I think the biggest thing about all of this, guys, is that now we're friends. You know, it's like we were just chatters. You know, you see people on that right side of that screen there, and so you know.
I tell you, Bill did the I guess you could say viewer appreciation night. I forget, or show viewer videos, and when he showed my video for the first time, a nobody, I was so excited. Really, Bill, I remember that like it was yesterday.
Are you talking about that support your local drone
Yeah,
channel?
support your
Yeah,
local.
yeah, there you go. That's the segment that you.
You know what?
do,
I got, because that just shows how old I am. Because you know where I stole that from. Support your local gunfighter and support your local sheriff.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Like James Garner, and then
yeah.
what was it? Don Knotts was in the gunfighter one.
Yep.
So Marcus got the original Xeno Nation drone right there.
The original Xeno. And it still flies. I charge it up every once in a while, get it out and fly it. Yeah, and this is the original one that I got back in. How long ago was that, Bill? 2018, 2017? I can't remember.
The original was probably 218, I think, maybe.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I started watching.
I ordered them when they had their Indiegogo.
Oh wow, yeah.
Crowdfunding.
Wow. I started watching Drone Nation when it was Drone Nation, formerly Xeno Nation.
Well, I'll tell you whose idea it was right there, Bill Thomas. I think Bill, it was your idea, wasn't it?
Well, I begged him to begin with because I told him it was going to pigeonhole you all. That's what I told him. I was like, if you say Xeno Nation,
Hey Ron, how you doing, Ron?
Hey Ron.
But anyway, well, it was cool. I mean, and the thing about it is they've turned it into something that's like really, you know, monumental for the drone community because everybody kind of goes there to get their info. And I'm really glad that happened because both of you guys always have good information to give to everybody, and you try to get good guests on. And the thing about it is now it's hard to find new guests anymore. I don't know if y'all still struggle, but you know, it's pretty much everybody we've had like in a rotation for a while.
Right. And what I want to do, Bill, I'm gonna let you go first, Bill Thomas. Tell us a little bit about your channel, then we'll move over to, we'll let Ron explain how Drone Nation came about. Then Bill, I want you to do the same thing. And then I got a second part to that question, but tell us a little bit about how you got started, Bill.
Well, basically what it was I started out with Dan Sampson. Everybody knows he was Dan the drone guy, and he evolved into drone worship, and now he's I Fix Sheet. So he's, you know, his channel has changed over the years, but I was following him because a guy that I worked with at the fish factory had bought a Phantom 4 drone, right? And he was flying it in his house and showing all kinds of stuff. And I was like, ooh, yeah. And then, of course, I go talk to my wife, and she's like, well, how much? And I was like, only $1,600. And she's like, no. So I got like a little inexpensive Chinese drone, right? And so I flew it. I got hooked. And needless to say, the first drone I got, the return to home worked incredible. Because like the third flight, it returned to home, and it was the last time I saw it. But anyway, what happened was it made me feel good, like stuff where I worked in a fish factory, and you know, things go on when you work in a factory, and they're just irritating and stuff. But I began to realize that when I would come home from work and fly my drone, that all that stress and tension just kind of seemed to fly away.
Absolutely, yeah.
The more that I would fly and look at things from that point of view, and I was like, well, drones are therapeutic to me. I'm sure other people must get this same kind of jolly. So that's when I said, okay, I'm going to do drone therapy. And we would have started a week before Ken, but we had some issues because Billy Kyle came on with us right then at the beginning. And so we started a week after Ken Heron started his show. So,
okay.
Was Billy still in high school?
No, he had just moved. It was like kind of like in between. He graduated high school, and he was moving to, he was living at home, I think, the first year. And so he was doing the first year from his bedroom of upstairs at his mom's house.
Yep.
So and then after that he would do it from either school or his apartment.
Now, Bill, y'all did that once a week.
Yeah, we did that once a week, and like I said, we had one season kind of in between because it was Ken Dono, Billy Kyle, one of Billy's friends. I'm sorry, I don't remember the young man's name who he was a gymnast from somewhere up north there. I can't remember his name. Anyway, it was the three of us, and then we evolved into the Bucket List Boys with me, Bill, and Ron. And then it just kind of has gone from there. Bill bought, so what Lon says, I bought my first drone from Orville Wright. I sure did. And returned to home worked great because it flew all the way from the West Coast all the way back to Kitty Hawk.
Oh man, Art, welcome in. Steve Genesis, John, Connecticut Pirate, welcome in.
How you doing, John?
But all right, Mr. Ron Brown.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? I'm having internet issues tonight. Am I okay here?
We can hear you.
Little
delay, but go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We've had some internet outages. It's over the area. I called. I've reset the router a million times and modems and so on. This is all I got today. How I got started is through of course, Bill Thomas. I was a fan of his show from almost the get-go. Some of those shows went real late in the night in the early days, Bill. I remember being up at midnight watching you guys on the East Coast in the old days or whatever.
Yeah.
And then, you and I started chatting or whatever. And I'm going to say I got on the show around the time of the Mavic 2 Pro. Kind of coming out or whatever, and the Spark, and well, maybe before the Spark. I mean, we talked about Spark a lot in the early days of the show, and we had a great year. And in that same time frame, I started guesting on Bill the Drone Reviewer show. Making some guest appearances over there, and then I got into the whole craze with the little Hubsan, the Hubsan drone, the Hubsan. Help me, Marcus. The Hubsan.
The one before the Xeno. Gosh darn it.
Oh, okay.
You had the
501. Yeah, I had the 501.
501.
Yeah, 501. But the Xeno was a big one. The Xeno was like the first kind of budget GPS drone that had a 3-axis gimbal and a 4K camera that was affordable. Marcus has it right there. And so I kind of got into that, and then through both the Bills encouraged me to do my own show. Because back in those days, it wasn't a whole lot of shows. I mean, it wasn't a show every day back then. So then I got the idea, we'll go around this Xeno because nobody's really talking about it. It'd be something different or whatever. But it'd be no use us talking about DJI drones because that's kind of all been covered or whatever. So, it was only about 6 or 7 guys in the U.S. I know it had the Xeno, and Marcus is one of them. I contacted him if he had any interest in doing a show. He said yes. So that kind of got us going. I mean, we talked a while. I don't know, maybe a little month went by, whatever. We kind of got things together. We launched in the spring, whatever year that was. It was sometime in the springtime, and we talked about the Hubsan. I don't know, for on and off for about a year because the Hubsan 2 came out or whatever.
So Ron, what you're saying? Even in 1967, Marcus had a lot of drones, is what you're saying.
Mark, I think Marcus has the most drones. He's got the most drones. He wins the most drone award.
No.
Yeah, he does, but but
we like yellow drones.
Don't we, the rest of us.
No, well, hey, Ron, I appreciate what y'all do, man. Listen, I'm sure, like I just told Bill off, and I know you on seem like I'm sure Monday night comes around really quick. I know Wednesday, even though I do it every 2 weeks now, but I know it comes around. Of course, Bill, the drone review. I know Bill. I'm sure that Tuesday seems like it's like every other night. Yeah,
it does.
Hey,
today
go ahead. I'm going to finish my story up, but go ahead, Ray.
No, Ron, you had Johnny on as a guest and me on as a guest on Drone Nation, and you put us together, and Johnny and I clicked after that. The following week, he called me. He says, "You want to do a live stream?" I said, "What do we know about doing a live stream?" And the next thing you know, we winged it, and the next thing you know, people started watching it. And it's all thanks to you and Marcus. I don't. DeMarco wasn't part of the crew yet, So
yeah, no, you guys take it to the next level. I mean, like going back a little bit of story. So we're doing Xeno Nation, and Johnny had the I remember the day Johnny got the Xeno, the second Xeno, the bigger Xeno.
Yeah.
And he couldn't get the land or whatever. And Johnny and I called just that back and forth. So I got a relationship with Johnny, and eventually he went from being, basically texting me or whatever, calling me, to being on the show with us. And he got the experience to kind of want to do his own show. And, and then look from there, all that. Look at all those now. There used to be Johnny has a show guide. Some nights have 3-4 shows or whatever. We went from just, Ken Herron and Bill Thomas show to a whole network of shows.
Right.
In just a matter of years.
Come a long way.
Yeah, go ahead, Marcus.
Well, I just wanted to make a point that Ron kind of talked about. He talked about you got the Xeno 2 and have problems with it. This was peak Xeno right here. It was all downhill from the original Xeno on.
Yeah.
It was all downhill.
That's a pretty big drone. That's a pretty big drone.
What I always said about the Xeno 2 was, except for taking off, flying, and landing, it was a good drone.
It was a good drone.
No, but I
appreciate can I tell this story? That this is a classic story. So I think my first appearance ever on Bill the Drone Reviewer show, we start to show off, and we're doing pretty good, and Bill has to leave the room. Bill's leaving the room. I see him running around the hallways in the background. So I'm just I'm doing my own show, whatever, because I realize he's got a problem. Well, Bill comes in eventually. He got, I think they call swatted that night. Somebody, the police woman reported something was going on. So my first show ever ended after about 15, 20 minutes.
Oh, my
got
Lord.
swatted. Now, Bill, is that a show debut or not or whatever?
Yeah, that was a real, just a little bit of background. I mean, it was like probably like the third or fourth show that I did.
Okay.
Now, my very first show that I did, I went and decided to start doing shows because I saw the number of views people were getting, and I figured Tuesday night looked like a good time slot, like at 8 o'clock, because it's prime time, and it was good to go. And I reached out, I did some research, and I found Sally French, the drone girl.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what, I'm going to have her on. She was agreeable and fine. Well, it just so happened that I did this a week ahead of time, and she agreed to it. But that week, I had probably one of the worst cases of bronchitis I ever had in my life. Okay.
Wow.
So I'm having to do the show. Picture this. I had just gotten a new laptop. I didn't have a full computer set up. Our third bedroom was every bit of a third bedroom and completely disorganized, and nothing was set up in there. So I was doing it from my laptop in the kitchen. Okay. And, remember our good friend, Mr. AGL 400, Mel, saying, you need to get a better microphone, Bill. And I'm like, I'm working on it there, Mel. I said, you can contribute to it if you'd like. Here's my PayPal account. But then the third show came up, and by that time I got connected with Ron and had Ron on. It was Ron's very first time. And in the middle of the show, we're about maybe 20 minutes into it, and Valerie says, you need to come to the door. I said, why? She said, you need to come to the door. So I asked Ron to take over. Well, sure enough, we were swatted that night, and it ended up, and listen to this part of the story, where they did it was they parked on the line between my house and our neighbor's house. Yep. They went to our neighbor's house first. Well,
really?
Yeah, and they said apparently what the deal was, they said that man was stabbing his wife, okay? Well, our next door neighbor's husband answered the door and said, is your wife there? Let me get her. No, they drew their guns on him, okay? Yeah. And she came out to the front door, and then they came over here, and they did the same thing. And, of course, it was somebody using a burner phone. They had parked, like, right between our houses, couldn't tell who it was. And there's a sneaking suspicion. We have a good idea who it was. He's
really
no longer in the drone community, thank goodness. Okay.
Interesting.
But we got started there with that. And then, things started really progressing with me. And I got what I consider some great guests on. Unfortunately I had Romeo Dersher on.
Yeah.
And Romeo was just absolute class act. And it just so happened the night he was on, okay, and this was epic. He had a major faux pas on the show. He had mentioned something that DJI, and this wasn't public knowledge, that DJI wasn't going to make anything beyond the Phantom series anymore after the Phantom 4. Okay, that was a real big oopsie. Okay, and then also that year I had Gail Orenstein on, and she was really one of the first photojournalists to use drones, and she used it all over the world. And she unfortunately has since passed away as well. But
Yeah.
early on, we did a lot of, I did a lot of getting people on the show. I would have Rick Smith on, I'd have Billy on, I'd have Ken on, then we evolved to getting Marcus on the show with us. And that Marcus Croft, that Idaho bobsled, I think that's what he called himself back in the day. Yeah. And it went really, really, really well. We really clicked. And we've evolved from doing more of the interview type shows because, as you guys know, how many times can I talk to Rick Smith? How many times can I talk to Billy? How many times can I talk to Ken? Before it gets old, and you try to get new and fresh people on the show, which is really kind of difficult to do. Yeah. So what we've evolved more into like a news format kind of a show, but we'll have Rick Smith on. We'll have maybe Kelly Shores on it every now and then. Or Ken Dono. But I think for us, in trying to keep the drone community informed, I think it's important that we do that. And I think, Drone Nation kicks off the week. That's how I start my week, is every Monday at 9:00, I'm watching. Okay. I may not always join the chat, but I'm watching. And then right around 10:00, I got to click those lights out because 5:30 in the morning comes awful quick getting ready for work. So,
I got to say, I learned so much from your show, Bill, really, over the years.
Thank you, Ray.
You were one of the first shows I started watching, and really, I look forward to it every Tuesday night. I drove my wife crazy.
Yeah, and I think all you guys would agree. It's fun. I think it's more fun being on the show than it is running the show.
Oh my God!
Yes, it is.
Right.
Oh my God!
I think and everybody. There's so many people now in the chat that does shows and stuff. I know, but man, I tell you what, there's a lot of clicking and moving around going on. But Bill Thomas, I'll start with you. So, what do you think? What you kind of know where we've been, but where are we headed? With drone shows. I mean, is your format going to stay the same, or tell us.
What do you think I came up with Squirrel Madness? It's so that at any given moment, because older gentlemen tend to have those squirrel moments.
Yeah.
So I'm just and I don't know. It's I would like to have more guests and stuff on. To be honest with you, but it's like
hard to get them.
It's you have to go digging for new people that like Josh is, as far as Josh and oh shit, what's his name? John. Josh and John
Pirate. That's the new up and coming show, guys.
Yeah,
you gotta watch out for those guys. They're gonna be the top show, I think, one day.
Yeah. So it's like we've all kind of had the interview kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think it's just going to, because like you were talking about earlier, the different types of drone shows, a lot of them are like buddy shows where they just come on and now just talk about stuff. It doesn't necessarily have to be drones. I mean, drones, what's connected them, but I really and truthfully don't know for sure. Well, we'll go, but I'm not going to give up for a while. I'm still going to come on Wednesdays and see what happens, even if I get 4 people that watch.
Yeah, and Bill, I would agree. Doing a guest, I mean, we, Ray and I, when we got together and did our show, one thing we kind of wanted to feature was the pilots. I mean, it's hard to talk about yourself on your show and all that. So, and we've been through, I guess, I ain't say we have everybody on, but it's like Drone Nation, like you said, they kind of start the week off with news, and Bill follows up on that, and then you kind of did the interviews and supporting a channel, which that's a great. People love to. I think they love to see their videos. They love to hear their name, and they know that they appreciate it. So I think that's a big part of the community.
And Johnny and
can I interject here real quick?
A lot of
Absolutely.
new people.
Go ahead, Bill.
Now, I want to interject real quick. I got to thank Bill Thomas because I know he's on watching Drone Nation on Monday night, and he's pushing people hit that like button. He's on Tuesday night watching Rotor Talk, and he's doing the same thing. And Bill does so much for this drone community that people don't see and don't hear about. And I wanted to call Bill out for that in a good way to let everybody know, because Bill, just you are the heart and soul of this drone community, and I want to really thank you for having me on early in your existence, and Ron as well too. And it really made a difference for me. It really gave me a great perspective.
Good point.
Many props to you, Bill.
Got a new guest right here, Terry Dugas, as a novice Mini 4 Pro pilot. Just finally showed
good. Welcome.
In. But you know what, Bill
Johnny, I want to go before you move. I want to do the second Bill drone reviewer here. I mean, all of us up here, we all go back to Bill Thomas. It's almost like, you know, like an NFL, something like a coaching chain or whatever. All of us here really are roots. Whether like if you guys came, John, if you guys came from me or whatever, you still came from Bill Thomas because I came from him.
Right.
Yeah, but think about this. I appreciate it, guys. But I can be a pain in the ass too. That's why we have so many different drone shows now.
So my memory is a little fuzzy. So I remember the first drone show I was on was Bill's, and I was with Bill and Ron. I was on as a guest, but I remember somehow we had a conversation that I didn't even have a webcam, and you guys told me I needed to get a webcam, and it must have just been in a chat room or something.
Yeah, it was Google Hangouts, wasn't it then?
Maybe.
Well, it was Hangouts, yeah.
It was way back there. But
Mark,
I appreciate it.
We got you set up with a webcam and a mic.
You want to know who? I think the template or the if you want to go buy something for a drone live stream, you need to emulate Drone Nation. That's the show that's kind of got the footprint that I think drone shows.
I agree with that.
You know, if you want to add anything to it or something, that's great. But that's kind of the format you need to follow, because if Ron doesn't necessarily have a guest that week, then he's really heavy on the news. If he's got a guest, then he really tries to, you know, dwell on that guest and give that guest as much, you know, showtime and, you know, front of the camera as he can, and get you over to their channel, which is, like I said, I think that's the blueprint for what you want to do for a drone live stream.
Well, you know, and I want to interject something here. You know, a lot of people don't know, but there is a lot of hard work to go in to prepare for these shows. Okay. You know, that's why I jumped on the chance when Johnny and Ray said, "You want to be on the show?" Absolutely. Because it's all I got to do is click the link. Okay.
Yeah.
You know,
exactly.
It's for me, it's setting up. And what I do is I get everything out on my Facebook group and my Facebook page. I get it out on X or on Twitter as well. And I also get out on Instagram. So I use all the social media channels to get it out there. And something new that I've been doing, and I've kind of experimented with it, and it's starting to work, and it's working on my ham radio channel as well too, is I'll put it out to X or Twitter as a live feed. And what I tell people is this, and what I do is I put the YouTube show in the pinned comment, and I said, if you want to join our chat, click on the pinned comment, and you have the link to the YouTube channel. That way you can ask questions and comment during the show. And I've gotten so many more people to do that. So there's a tip out there for all you drone show enthusiasts and wanting to get more people on there, because I find people on X, they'll jump on that like crazy, like nobody's business.
Okay.
And
my
viewership has gone up each week because of that. So just a tip for you. But no, I really want to echo the sentiment, you know, that I know Bill and I know Ron and Marcus and I know myself, you know, I know you guys, Johnny and Ray. You guys, it's effort, it's work. I mean, you go out there looking for articles and you don't. And one thing I really try to do, and it's kind of difficult, but I don't want to emulate Drone Nation in terms of talking exactly what they talked about on Monday night. I want to make my show a little bit more unique. And I think Ron and I have been doing a good job on Tuesday night about that. And then what I love now is we'll close like at the top of the hour, and then the last 5 minutes we'll talk sports, because I know some of these guys, Ron and I, love to talk sports. So we'll go out there and we'll talk sports, and we'll tell people, you know, the drone portion is ended. We're going to talk about sports now. And Ron and I have a ball doing that. Oh my gosh, it's so much fun.
I got a question for you guys because you guys are more or less the drone celebrities among us. What do you think is the best time frame for? Is it an hour? Is it 2 hours? Some of them go on for 3 and 4 hours. What do you think?
1 hour.
Depends
Okay,
on
I
the
agree.
subject. Depends on the subject.
Yeah. Okay.
1 hour.
Yeah.
And I want you to know that that's what I appreciate about working with Ron Brown. He ends that show right at the top of the hour, 1 hour every week.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
Well, actually,
No,
I'm falling asleep.
the first
Not because you're boring. I'm just tired.
Yeah, the first hour is almost all the real stuff. The half hour is just like kind of the after party. You know, you cut off 10 mostly, and the last half hour is fluff. But a lot of people stay around for the fluff or whatever.
Well, that's what Johnny and I, and we discussed it. You know, we're going to be on time,
Well,
and we're going to end on time.
it is, and I think it's a type of show. You know, our show. I mean, we do start on time. We try to end on time, but you know, I think as you get into more just talking, I know Bill, you're more just kind of open frame stuff there and open. You know, so it's a little different. It's a different kind of show. You know, and then Ron, y'all do get into the news, so you can easily go longer. You know, especially when you in it lately. Just it hadn't been a lot of news, but
Nothing good.
yeah, it's looking pretty good for a lot of products and stuff coming out.
Well,
here.
another thing, Johnny, too, like when we first started, well, not when we first started Drone Nation, but it's, at some point in Drone Nation, Sean and I used to come on at 10 my time. So we used to show, so we didn't run Sean Oz show, but Sean Oz hasn't done a show for years, so it doesn't matter. There's nothing coming on after us or whatever, you know.
Right.
So we don't have to really work. And Bill, in a lot of the years, Mikey followed your show. Phil Drone Life. So we also wanted to get off so Philly Drone Life could get going, but he's no longer broadcasting. No more need.
I was thinking about Mikey today. Long gone, isn't he? Just poof, off into the ether.
Bill Thomas, Rick is asking. This Coast to Coast Drones. Rick is what Bill's every Wednesday night. Well, he follows this show about 30 minutes after we end, so 7:30.
Yeah, literally, I'll usually eat dinner in the half hour between this show and that show because I try to hang out as much as I can.
And
be careful, Rick, because Bill will have you on the show if you keep making comments like that.
No, but hey, Ron, I know also, and Bill, and of course Bill Tom, we've all done special shows. Ron, when a new product's coming out, a lot of times you'll do that, and that's a fun you know, time there when these new products come out. That's pretty popular.
You know, I love
Johnny. The best Drone Nation ever may have been we during our live show. What drone came out during the live show one year, Marcus? Was it the Air 2S? DJI
the Air 2S
was
probably the biggest Drone Nation ever, I think.
But they released it right in the middle of the show. I mean, say like at 9:30, a new drone came out in a Monday night one time. It was a good drone too, and this is more than 5 years ago. But that was the most watched show ever. We had like thousands of views because the drone came out in the middle of the show.
There was 5 minutes of silence though because we all stopped to order it.
Everybody ordered a drone.
Yeah, and that may have been the days where it wasn't on the website right away. Maybe we did.
Well, hey, now you don't have to worry about that right now. It seems like, you know.
I mean, Johnny asked about the future, where drone shows are going, and I think of that too. And I've said to Marcus, you know, say the drone ban kicks in, there's no DJI drones after the 23rd of this year in the U.S. And I think Bill talked about this. People say we're drone fans, but really, are we drone fans? I think we're more DJI fans because most of us here. So all of us have had non-DJI drones, but the only DJI drone that we consistently fly, I mean, the only drones we consistently fly have been DJIs. We're more DJI people than we are drone people, really, in a way. So what are we going to do for the show come the first of the year, and where we know we're not going to get any new DJI drones for an unknown period, forever, whatever the theory be? What do we do at that point? And I'll go, Marcus, I'll put another question out there. They can follow up right away. Like people like, Ray, John do the South Florida drone. Will the drone meets continue to be as popular as they are once we get cut off from DJI drones? And I'll stop asking questions now. Marcus, you say something.
Well, I was going to say, Ron, it'll be Action Cam Nation.
now
Yeah.
3D.
You know,
You got to make the best of it. We got to make the best of this whole situation. That's the
You know,
bottom line.
one of the things that I've been trying to do is put a positive spin on it, as hard as it is. But, you know, and that's why, you know, the last 2 weeks, one of the things that I did was talk about that there's a section to comment on the section 232 is to put comments out there. And I saw this, but I couldn't believe my eyes. Only 70 people commented on it, which I thought was a travesty. And then Vic Moss for Drone Advocacy Alliance, there's 2 of the 3 I think you should comment on. And I was kind of emphasizing to people, and I want to make sure it comes across well, is, you know, we may not get everything we want, but the more that we speak up and the more that we, you know, say, you know, what's going on in our opinion. And as I talked about last night, I said, use things like maybe ChatGPT or Grok to help you formulate something and put something in there that's sounding intelligent, and, you know, and not to be afraid is to go ahead out there and do that, because while we may not get everything we want, this could help in our favor. And if we do nothing, we're going to get nothing. And so that's what I try to do. And then also too, you know, with these new drones that are coming out, all right, and you know, it helps kind of distract us. Okay, the Sky Rover coming out, the anti-gravity Insta360 coming out. These are good distractions for us, and this is kind of getting us, you know, focused on that instead of talking about, you know, the impending doom and gloom that's coming up. And I think we need to kind of just maybe take a step back and exhale and see what's going to go on here. We really, and if anybody says, and I've told this to Ron before, if anybody says they know what's going on, they're not telling you the truth. Okay,
Exactly.
nobody knows what's going on right now.
Oh, we got a shirt. We got a new kind of shirt. What's it say, Bill?
Where's the audit?
Hey, that's an. I like the back. What's it say in the front? What's it say in the front?
And I wear it around town.
Well, hey, one thing I'll say, I kind of take. I think you need to fall in love with the hobby again. I think we're way. I don't know. We seem like we're so worried about the latest technology and the latest drones that we've really got some great drones. And look, let me tell you something. When you do, Marcus holding up the little mini B copter, and listen, that's a great drone. It's a fun drone, but
This is no B copter.
you do. Oh, that's the
Sky Rover.
the Sky Rover.
Give you a hard
Oh,
time.
Marcus couldn't get the V-copter.
Marcus's new favorite drone.
Ron, you got an email today though, right?
I got an announcement, fellas. I finally got my email from, I guess, Indiegogo. My
Good. When you getting it?
little mini V-copter shipping. It should have it by Monday.
Yeah.
Great.
Awesome.
Good deal. I think Captain Joe got the same email. He's getting his Monday or Tuesday. So, but
Well,
Marcus,
I got
ahead.
an email today too, and I found out my Sky Rover will be here in about 3 days.
Oh,
Oh,
good
you
deal.
ordered one, Bill? You
Yep,
ordered one.
I ordered
Nice.
one. So
Took
we're
me 4 days
now-
to get it.
I actually
The Sky
found
Rover
out,
ships a lot
and
faster
I didn't.
than the V-copter does.
I mentioned this last night on the show, but I actually had I found a contact with he doesn't work for Sky Rover, but he was telling me right now there are no plans for extra batteries or propellers for it. And I also asked the question too, will it allow you to use like an Android tablet? And he said, for right now, no. The answer is no on that. But he was very forthcoming with stuff, and he got back to me. Like, of course, you know, the time difference, he got back to me overnight, but it's nice that there's a contact out there. So, you know, making some progress as far as that's concerned. And the other thing I wanted to say was I was real surprised. Sean from Air Photography did a video comparing the distance
I
with
saw that.
and
cool.
wow, it outperformed the Mini 4 Pro, which was incredible.
Really?
Okay,
Okay.
Bill, we're on the subject. This is a question for Bill H. August 7th. Are we going to see the Mini 5 Pro on August 7th?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Where'd you get that date? Where'd that
we
date
see-
come from?
Here in the United States, no. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go the South Korea route and do me up like that, because these guys have had incredible success getting them from South Korea. You know, I know several people that have.
Just use Tom Dow's link.
And Tom Tom's our
That's
good
kind of a
example
joke.
there.
Tom's got he bought the Mavic 4 Pro from a South Korean seller with no issues whatsoever.
So did a
They
bunch
said
of people. Yeah.
South Korea and Japan, you don't pay any extra tariffs if you order from South Korea or Japan.
It's like
is great. Which
DW
is great.
Drone Dealer 13 or something.
And now we found out, evidently, I think it was posted. Somebody in the chat on Monday night on Drone Nation posted that State Farm will now insure that. Good agents will be able to find a way to work
yeah,
around
they
and
should
insure
be.
you.
They should be able to.
It all
Sure.
depends on where you live and what representative you're talking to. From
Yeah,
State Farm.
DW_13. It's DW_
That's
store
the
13.
Bill. That's the guy.
You know,
And Lon
Bill,
has-
you were talking about you can't
Uh-oh.
use an
Yeah, I'm gonna
iPad or
put
a
the- I'll put the
tablet,
link in.
and I can use a tablet on the Falcon Mini. I used my iPad Mini 5,
Really?
and it worked fine.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah, he's talking about on the Sky Rover bill.
right.
Yeah, on the Sky Rover, yeah. And they said right now, no, it's not going to do that. Well,
Bill, what's the difference you think between the Spectre and the Sky Rover as far as, I mean, Spectre kind of went away, it seemed like, and
Because the Spectre had a Mini also, right, Bill?
right. They have a Mini also. One of the things I did was I reached out to my contact there, and he
Right.
said, no, they're not out of business. They're still in business. They're waiting to restock right now. So that's why it hasn't been, and it's only on Amazon. That's the only place that you can buy the batteries, the props, and the drones themselves. No, he said they haven't gone anywhere. Okay. They're just waiting to restock. So everything is fine with them. I think that, you know what? I think it's a shell company for DJI. Okay. And they're moving chess pieces around here. And when I got my notification
You really
from
think
FedEx,
that's what it is?
yeah, when I got my
absolutely.
notification from FedEx today on where the drone is being shipped from, it's being shipped from Malaysia. Okay,
That's
Yeah,
where mine
because
came from in
well,
Malaysia. I
that's
ordered it on
where
Monday. I
that's
have it
where
on
the
Friday.
Spectres are made. They're made over in Malaysia too. So
so
Guarantee it comes out of the same factory, Bill.
yep,
Marcus,
100%.
you flew that. So, I mean, how does it feel to you as far as, I mean,
I've been flying the heck out of this thing. In fact, I flew it just a little while ago. Yeah, I mean, it feels like a Mini 4 Pro. That's what it feels like. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, it's interesting. A lot of changes, that's for sure.
But here's the point that I'm going to make about this drone. DJI aside, right? DJI aside, you guys know I review a lot of these, Potensic and Ruko and Holy
Right.
Stone and all
And
those
you
other.
do a great job at it, by the way.
Well, thank you very much, Ray. But this thing is just like heads and tails over those other drones. It's not even in the same ballpark. It
Well,
is.
It's like the Mini 4 Pro, right?
Exactly. So I guess if for no other reason, the price that they're selling this for, man, it's a screaming bargain, and you get so much for your money, as opposed to that same guy that's going to buy another brand of drone.
I had it up on Amazon the other day. All I had to do was hit that buy button, but I didn't.
Marcus, one question: Are we taking a step backwards by going back to having to use our phone, or is that just? I mean,
that's horrible. It's the worst thing about it. Yeah, it's the worst. It's horrible. Yeah. We get so used to these all-in-one controllers. It is hard. It sucks to go back to using your phone for an FPV screen.
But there's a lot of people, that ordered that drone right there. You're holding, Marcus. They don't even know, that DJI. I mean, they may not know, So
Right.
Yeah.
Got to be careful what we say about Joe Fotolio. He's in the chat.
Joe,
So I did a video today out on the Boise River with Tanya. This one versus the Potensic Atom 2, and I put them both on cruise control and just sent them downriver and upriver, and I'll let people decide, which video they like the best.
You feel that they're comparable, Mark? Really? Which one did you like better? Come on, tell us.
Well, of course, yeah, the one that's based.
But
on
only one of them does it. Only one of them does a barrel shot, though.
That's true, and it does a good job of that. Listen, I say that, but I'm not knocking that Atom 2. That Atom 2 is a neat little drone, but at the end of the day, it's not quite up to this standard.
Yeah, but also it's much cheaper than the
and
X1 Rover.
I say
So-
that in my video. You
Yeah.
can get that combo for a couple $100 less than what you're paying for this.
Hey, Marcus, I got a question though, and I think actually Herman Lawrence was talking about this. Why wasn't that like that drone that you're holding in your hand? It was no leaks. It just popped up like one day. So I mean, how does that?
Yeah.
Is that on purpose?
It's DJI trying to sneak drones into us. That's what it is. Come on.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
I guess.
It is.
Johnny, kind of to answer your question, okay? All these leaks that we get through Igor or I'm sorry, Jasper.
Jasper Allen's.
All these leaks that come out, they're coming out with DJI's blessing.
Oh,
Okay.
absolutely. Yeah.
You know, they're releasing this information out. And why we didn't hear about the Sky Rover was because they kept a lid on it. They didn't let that out to anybody, and then all of a sudden it's here. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's how
You think,
they're
that's a
working.
good move, or do you think it hurts them?
Yeah, I do. I think it's real good because, you know, it's like they're moving chess pieces around. And if you move chess pieces around, you know, they can't say that, oh, yeah, the Uyghurs are helping to make these drones over in Malaysia, so we can't import them here to the United States. Okay.
Right.
So they can't say that.
Captain Ray, let me answer that for you. I'll let you kind of answer it yourself, Captain Ray. You remember that morning that Monday morning, we turned on our computers and we all saw that video from Sean over at Air Photography.
Right.
What a splash that made. I mean,
Yeah. It was good for his channel, that's for sure.
Yeah, you couldn't have made a bigger splash than what
Yes.
that video did. So
Yep.
Yeah. And they
Well,
gave it to the right
Marcus,
person.
I'm surprised they didn't give you one.
yeah, no. No, but I ordered one. Yeah,
We got
I
a
bet
new
Johnny Drone Liar.
Don't they have a new Insta360 coming out? Is that tomorrow?
That's tomorrow
Osmo
morning, AM.
360.
It's a new 360. DJI's first 360 camera, kind of going to be a rival to the X5. It's been a ton of leaks on it, photos, specs, and whatever. So we kind of know what's coming for. The big question, Johnny, is will it be on DJI's U.S. website for sale tomorrow, or will you have to go to South Korea? We're showing you in the chat. It says, why are we saying South Korea? We're just eBay. We should say eBay.
Yeah.
There's out of South Korea send these things over here, so we're not really buying from South Korea. We're buying from eBay. But yeah, what do you go around the panel? I'll the Bill Thomas first. We'll be able to buy the 360 camera official channels tomorrow, or we have to smuggle it in.
I don't think so. I'm beginning to doubt all of it now because I mean, even if it's because in order to get people here to buy it, they're going to want it to be without that tariff price on it. So unless DJI is going to eat that tariff, I don't see it, you know, because it's with the tariff is going to be what, like $1,800. You know, who's going to want to pay that much?
Yeah.
Welcome in Tony's era.
Depends on what day of the week it is.
I mean, I could be
Hey,
totally
Tony, how you
wrong.
doing, Tony?
I don't know.
Marcus,
Well,
what do you think?
Is the Power 2000 available still, or is it not on the website?
It was on the website on launch day.
Okay.
I haven't followed it.
Go ahead, Marcus. What do you
Marcus,
think?
anybody else have thoughts?
Yeah.
Will the
No,
360
we're not going to be able to
tomorrow?
buy anything. No, not from DJI. You'll be able to, just like you guys were talking about, go to someplace in Korea and order it on eBay. But yeah, not
But what I'm wondering
not
is
through
somebody,
normal channels.
is
Not
somebody
through
going to show up and bust us for buying this drone from South Korea?
Yeah.
No.
So Johnny, we giving away one giveaway or two tonight?
We got two. We got a sticker pack, and we got the South Florida Drone Meetup tumbler.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we'll do that in a few seconds.
Are we giving away the
I just
360
want-
camera, Johnny?
Yeah, no.
I want to
Giving
make
away
an
an
announcement.
advanced copy of the 360 camera?
I want to make an announcement about the South Florida Drone Meetup Hotel. I spoke
Yeah.
with John, the manager, today, and he has extended extra rooms for our group,
Okay.
really.
Wow.
And it was sold out.
good.
Our block of rooms was sold out. He made an exception. He added one more. He added a couple more. If you're
Oh, wow.
coming to the South Florida Drone Meetup, call the hotel tomorrow and ask for John or extension 602.
I would definitely do
because
it
he's
tomorrow.
still honoring. Jeff Norman made his reservation today and he accepted it. But eventually it's going to be cut off. He's not going to fill the hotel with our group. So
Yeah.
he's given us a great rate over the years. They kept it at $139 for a room. He even opened up the suites. Jeff got a suite this morning for $149.
Yeah.
So I got to say thank you to the new manager and director of sales,
Yeah.
John Ward.
And Christina is not there anymore, right, Ray?
No, she's not. No.
Yeah. No. But hey, guys, hey, that's probably the earliest
Thank
it's
you,
ever
Ray.
been booked. That's for sure, you know. So.
Well, I'm going to have Valerie on lockdown next year, so she's not doing anything to cause
Yeah,
vertigo.
Y'all gotta get,
you know what?
Back
Just
over.
kind of a side note, we really kind of have an idea what was causing this, believe it or not. I love my wife, okay? She's obsessed with cleaning the shower. I mean, seriously, okay? Which is good. It's a good thing. But she was doing a lot of bending over, and it was the bending over with her head, you know, that was causing this. Because since then, we've gotten we've gotten like squeegees and things on handles, so she doesn't have to bend over to do that anymore. And since then, and she also went to physical therapy for it, and she knows how to deal with it now. But she really, nothing, knock on wood, it's been good since then. But I'm going to have her in lockdown the week before meet up next year, so we won't have any issues on that.
Yeah. Well,
Rick wants to take over the whole hotel.
Yeah, Rick. Maybe Rick can just Rick can just rent the whole hotel.
If I had Johnny's money, I'd just buy the hotel.
I'm gonna tell him I'm Marcus Crawford. You know, let me get this up here, guys. Let's we got 24 entries. I'll pull for the sticker pack first. It's hashtag drone shows.
Good luck, everybody. Good luck.
And USA
Good
shipping
luck out
only. And
there.
if you just want it and you want to give it to somebody, let me know. I'll get it out to them. If you want something recently, this will be for the sticker pack.
Johnny, I'll be sending you new stickers very shortly.
Yeah, guys. And
Or did I send them already? I forget.
Mr. Marcus Crawford, I need some stickers from you. I know that.
I got them sitting right here. I just got to put them in the mail. Pirate ship.
Yeah, there you go. Pirate ship. All right, here we go. This is for
You
the
have pirate
pack.
ship too, Marcus? That's good.
Sticker pack.
Good luck.
Sticker
Good luck,
pack.
everybody.
John.
Oh,
Flynn.
John Fly and Flynn Media. Congrats.
Congrats, John Flynn.
Yay!
All right, John. If you, I'll get them to you. If you want to give them to somebody or something, just let me know. I'll get
You
them.
can never have too many stickers. You can never have too many stickers.
All right, this will be for the tumbler. The tumbler made by Jeremy Alms. There.
I want to win that. I'm going to rig it so I win it. My name's not even in there,
Are
guys.
these officially Rick now, Ray?
Jody.
Jody, way to go, Jody.
Good.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Drone shots.
Great
We'll
job.
we'll give it to Jody.
Very, very good. He's on a roll. He got a landing pad, I
There may
think,
be
from me.
some rare stickers in there, right, Johnny? Some collectibles?
Oh, we got all kind of, man. Captain Joe got like baseball cards. We got
Amazon.
I don't
No,
know.
he got the
We
Amazon
all
gift
kind of
card.
stickers.
That's
yeah,
a
Ray
priceless
get them.
pack.
Go ahead,
Yeah, one more-
Marcus.
One more question for Bill H.
Yes, sir.
When are we going to see the Neo 2?
Ooh.
That is a good question. I'm going to say we're going to find it. It will be with our friends over in South Korea and Japan via eBay. I think that's going to be the way to go.
But
Really?
when?
Is what we're gonna do.
I'll try to answer your question. Jack said a few months ago it'd be September. I don't know if he's changed, but a few months back, Jasper thought it would come out in September.
September, October, Christmas tree.
Yeah, because it was just approved by the FCC. We just got that. It was just posted on Drone Nation the other day, or Drone DJ the other day. So with that, it's usually about 2 months out from being out there. So yeah, I think September sounds about right with that.
Okay. Yeah.
So what will it be? More powerful motors, better camera, longer battery life. What I mean, those three things.
Probably all the above.
Yeah.
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 I'll check all those boxes, Johnny. Yeah.
Yeah.
And $100 more, unfortunately, probably.
Well, hey, you know what? They put a lot of technology in that $199 drone. I'll tell you that right there. You know, it's a fun drone.
Yeah, no doubt. And the reason the Neo is more popular than Flip was because you can use the Neo with the goggles and the FPV gear.
Yeah.
There it is. Ray flew the Neo the first time at the meetup. You remember you flew to Sawgrass that morning.
Yeah. I tell you, I'll end up flying this a lot once I get the controller.
So John got a Mavic 4 Pro.
John.
Flynn.
John Flynn.
John Olson did. John Olson.
John
did.
Flynn
Flynn.
saying he has a Mavic 4 Pro case. So why would you have a Mavic 4 Pro
No, I
case
thought he
without the
I thought-
drone?
Congratulations, John
you,
Olson.
you dirty good word on us, huh?
You're
should be
breaking up. You're breaking up.
Yeah.
All right, Bill, I'm gonna let you go first. I know you got your show, and I appreciate you coming on tonight. And I know it's tough. You're gonna do your show here in a little bit, but thank you for coming
Yeah,
on and
Thank you.
give you a chance to say your goodbyes here.
I wanted to say thank you very much for having me on tonight. It was a pleasure being on with everybody here on the panel, and you always learn a little bit of something from everybody. And Bill had a good point about how, like, the last 5 minutes, him and Ron are talking about sports. And then, like, on my show, like the last 5 or 10 minutes, Ron and I talk about streaming recommendations, stuff that you can watch on movie channels and stuff like that. And so that's a way for all of you. Two things I wanted to leave everybody with is a way for all of you to test drive new little segments of your show. Maybe try it towards the end and see what kind of input you get from it.
Yeah.
Right.
And another thing is, if you have the wherewithal to do it, go ahead and download your show, chop it up into shorts, and re-upload it.
Yeah, I've been saying you
That's a
do
good
that.
idea. Thinking about it. Yeah,
and
very good
you'll-
idea.
Like the first couple of weeks, I got thousands of views. Last week, I only
Wow.
got like 250, 300, which is still better than nothing.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a way to try to get some more traffic to your channel. It's a way to try to, you know, get some more influx from other people. And it's a way to test drive new things for your show.
And I might add, if you guys are not subscribed to these gentlemen, please do it now.
Absolutely.
Right now, hit that subscribe button on their channels.
I want to
Well,
say,
I got to
thank you
say something before Bill parts.
What-
We owe our drone shows to Bill. Okay. Well, the whole
Yeah.
reason that we're sitting here and even having this discussion is because of Bill Thomas, and he's the founding father of drone shows in my
Well,
book.
I gave you the inspiration. You all are the actors and the performers that bring your shows to life.
Hey,
Well,
appreciate it.
we
all right,
I gotta
Bill,
bail.
thank you so much, Bill.
Thank you, Bill.
I know Bill. I told him he might jump off, but Mr. Ron Brown, you're up.
Yeah, you know, thanks for putting this show together, Johnny. It brings back, you know, kind of a lot of good memories over the years, how we got started, and maybe where we're going in the future. So it was good to see
Right.
everybody probably for the first time ever, all on one stage. So this was a momentous show tonight. Really, like a landmark show. Seeing,
I appreciate it so much.
But we got the old band back together again. You
Yeah,
know?
hey, I
So
appreciate
that
it
was
so
really
much. You
cool.
guys, yeah, and, you know,
Learned
like-
so much from you, Ron, over the years. You know, you're a true friend now, and I hope you made your reservation for the South Florida Drone Meetup.
Well, what time do I call tomorrow, Ray? 9
Yeah,
a.m.
9 a.m. Give them
And
a
a
call.
caller.
9 a.m. Ask for John.
I got the John Ward extension 602. I
Yeah.
got my hastily written notes prepared.
I
Ray.
wrote it down. I wrote
So-
it down too. I need to get the phone number for that place.
Oh, so you're coming, Marcus. I got to add you to the list. You're giving us a commitment tonight.
Well, I'm going to make the reservation, Captain Ray. I don't want to promise 100%
Just in
that.
case.
Oh, you don't want to? All right. I don't.
Hey,
I'm not
hey,
adding
I'm-
you until you give us
Well,
100%.
listen. I know how disappointed you were last year when people said they were going to come and they didn't.
Yeah, there were way too many cancellations.
I'm going to Rhode Island. I made my flight reservation.
I was going to
so-
say,
Yeah.
John's got big news. John's going.
Yeah.
John's going up to Rhode Island.
Yeah, absolutely. Marcus Crawford, you're up.
Listen, I am probably the least.
Right.
I'm probably the least qualified person on this panel tonight because really, Drone Nation, Ron is the heart and soul of that whole thing. But it's been fun, and the two Bills are both invited me on their shows and got me going, and then of course Ron on Xeno Nation. So I've had a good time doing that, and this whole hobby is just a lot of fun. We all get all
It is.
you know Ron was talking about earlier, what are we going to do without DJI? Well, I don't know. I'm still going to fly drones.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, whatever I can get a hold of is. I'm an enthusiast. That's I mean, I want DJI drones. Don't get me wrong, but you know, I'm still going to fly no matter what.
Well, thank you, Marcus. I appreciate everything you do. And man, hey, Good. It's good to have you on.
Marcus, you are a true drone celebrity, really.
Thank you, Ray.
Bill.
First of all, thank you guys for doing the show tonight. That was awesome and a great idea for having all of us on. And whatever happens this year with DJI, it's not going to matter. There's still going to be Rotor Talk Live. We're still doing Bill the Drone Reviewer. It's not going anywhere. It's always going to be a great day to fly because we'll be able to find something to fly. I mean, even if I have to pull out an old Hubsan Zeno to fly,
Right.
I'm going to fly. Okay.
Exactly.
Or God forbid, I have to get a FEMI X8 SE 2022 and get that up and fly that.
Hey, I got one.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, Bill.
But no, you
I
guys
may have to
do
go
a great-
back to my Striker spy drone.
Yeah, there you go.
I want to thank you guys for doing the show and for all the hard work that you guys do as well too, because especially with the drone meetup, that's a year-round job, Ray, and I know Johnny's involved with it too, and others are as well. And thank you guys so much for doing that because you really pump a lot of lifeblood back into the community by doing that and getting the people to donate those prizes and seeing the look on people's faces when they win something. It's
Right.
priceless and it's good.
Yeah.
And it's just good all the way around. And this is a great group of guys. Okay. It really was painful for me that we couldn't go because I was so looking forward to hanging out with everybody
Yeah.
and just talking. Okay. And that's one of the things that I tell everybody. You go to a drone meetup, what drone do you bring? I said, forget drones. I'm not there to fly a drone. I'm there to talk to people. Okay.
Right.
That's why I
Yeah.
want to go. I can fly 364 other days a year. The weather's okay.
And the price
Just
is
one
right.
day.
The price is
Just one
right.
day. I want to shake hands. I want to press the flesh. I want to talk to people. I want to shoot video. I want to shoot the breeze and have a great time. And that's what happens.
It's a great event. All right, guys. I want
Thank
to
you,
thank
Bill.
y'all again
Thank you.
so much. And,
Thank you, guys.
We'll see you in 2 weeks, but we'll do viewer videos. So send me your viewer videos in the next couple of weeks, and we'll get them on that night. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.
Have a good night, everybody. Fly safely.